Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to my channel, Life with Patty. Happy Saturday afternoon. I am here with my kryptonite, my Coca-Cola on ice. I know lately that I have been drinking way too much soda because I fill up my big tumbler to take it to the hospital, which is 60 miles one way. And I even have to take like little snacks like Cheetos or crackers or something, because let me tell you, it is all back roads until 2 miles before you get to the hospital, when you basically get into the town. So from our house to 2 miles before the hospital, so 58 miles, it's just like rice fields and cornfields and walnut orchards. It's just all farming, and it's just, I mean, it's a beautiful thing to see, but it's kind of boring and it doesn't keep you awake, you know. Now, driving on the interstate, to me, is 100% worse than driving the back country roads. But I fill my tumbler with Coke and get a snack. Today I made it almost there before I had to take a little bit of my snack. No, I didn't even take the snack, just a little bit of my soda. Coming home, I had to get my snack, you know. So, got there today. Hubby was in a great mood. He just had his oxygen on. And now he's going to be with oxygen probably until he gets up and gets more mobile. But he'll be on oxygen all the time. And he will be with a CPAP at night. Now, I didn't sleep well last night because I'm a worrier. I don't know if any of you are like that, and I wish I was not, but it's anxiety / worrying, and I hate it. I can't just dismiss something when I'm worried about something. I can't sleep, I can't relax, nothing. So they were saying, oh, well, he'll have to go to have a sleep apnea test for them to decide what kind of CPAP he's supposed to wear. And he is immobile. He is bedridden. I said, okay, I know that they will come to the house, because my coworker, she went and had a sleep apnea test, and they said, your readings are horrible. They didn't even come up correctly. So she's like, I don't know what to do. I can't relax there. It's not home. Like, I can't fall asleep. And then I have to get up and go to the bathroom, so you have to unplug the machine and everything. So they said, it's okay. We're just going to bring the machine and everything to your house, and you're going to have it done there. Okay, so it can be done, right? So I worried about that all night, because why the heck would you send him home without a CPAP when he almost died? And I know they wanted a general study of it. However, they didn't give him a general study now, and they put a CPAP on him, and it's working for him. And I know that they're all medically trained there, so if that doesn't work, they do something else. But, okay, what are you using now? What is the strength, whatever? Let's get that, and then he can have a test at home, and then we will upgrade. And the doctor says, well, I don't know if your insurance will pay for it. I don't care. Like, just tell me how much it is. I mean, I hope it's not over a couple $1,000, but I'm just aggravated. And but his cousin is a RN nurse, and she said, just refuse to go home until you have enough oxygen to last him until the CPAP test is done. So I asked the doctor today, and I said, who's in charge of ordering him oxygen? And she said, we are. I said, okay, great. I want that oxygen ordered, delivered, and set up in my home before he's released. And none of this like, oh, he's on his way and the oxygen's coming. No, I want it set up, ready. And then I want the traveling oxygen in the little carrier for him to have on the drive home. She said, okay. So I think that's not going to be a problem. And I mean, okay, so if he has to wear the oxygen, not the CPAP, for one night or whatever, okay. But if it's going to be a while, then do the dang test at the hospital. Why can't they come over and do it at the test? This was just me all night last night. So I did feel a little better after I talked to the doctor today, and she said that they would order the oxygen and have that already. And then I did talk to my husband's caregiver, and she said, you just refused to take him home. You said, no, I don't feel safe for him to come home. And I did have a lady call representing Medicare, and she said, if they want to send him home and you feel it's not safe for him to come home yet, you just tell him, I want to appeal this. I don't feel safe for him to come home yet. So that is what I'm going to do. If I don't have oxygen sitting next to that bed, and then oxygen in a tank for him to travel home, because it's an hour travel, and that's just an hour travel, that's not even counting getting loaded up and unloaded, then I'm going to refuse him to come home until those things are in order. I do want the CPAP as well, but definitely 100% oxygen. So that's why I couldn't sleep all night. And then his daughter said, I'm going to get to the hospital about 1. And she lives in Sacramento, so, you know, it's about a 2.5 hour drive for her. And so, to the hospital. And so when she goes to see him, she does stay a long time, and that's okay. And I knew she would. And she brought her husband and her 2 kids. So I said, okay, if you're going to get there at noon, I'll go at 4. And then you'll have time to visit with him, and then I'll visit with him. And then I thought, no, I'm going to go this morning, because I couldn't relax. I couldn't sleep, nothing. So I went this morning, and I visited with him. And let's tilt the camera down and do some coloring while I'm talking, okay? Because I'm all wound up, you can tell. That's my anxiety, you guys. That's my anxiety. So we're going to color out of this Ohuhu Mandala and Animals color book. And let's see, what page are we going to do? I started this one, but I don't really want to do that one. We'll get a different one. We'll do this one. All right, we're going to do this cute little goldfish. Koi fish, huh? Okay, so anyway, I ended up going to see him this morning, and I took him his phone, so he finally has his phone and everything. And he was so happy because the physical therapist came in, and he sat to the side of the bed today. And so he felt very accomplished because he's been laying down now completely since last Sunday, because Monday I don't think I got him up in the morning. Maybe I did. Maybe it was Monday. And so he got to sit up to the side of the bed today, and that made him feel very good, and the nurses were even happy with him. And yeah, so he got moved out of ICU down to a regular room. However, the hospital's big. It's 6 stories, and he's on the bottom floor. And I thought, oh good, it's right next to the front entrance, right? No, because this hospital's so long. So it's still a long walk. It was probably closer when he was on the 3rd floor, because you just take the elevator right up to his room. But anyways, it's good that he's making progress. He's doing well. And that's the update on the hubs, okay? So, no, I think a fish has green eyes, don't you think? Green or blue? I'm gonna give him green. This is definitely a different kind of paper to work with, you know, because it's not, it has like a film on it so that it doesn't bleed through. But once you get used to it, it's okay. Let's see. Let's make sure. Yeah, no bleeding whatsoever. I think I'm going to go ahead and buy the other 3 that Ohuhu made with these, because I like it. I like it. Well, and I've been listening to some new channels that I really enjoy, and of course all my old channels. And I haven't watched a lot lately because when I'm at the hospital, I can't relax to watch a YouTube video. I just play games on my iPad, or I do my embroidering, or knitting, or reading a book, or whatever. So, you know, we kind of wanted him to go to a rehab center where they could work with him. But I'm so afraid right now Because I believe me, from between him and my father, we've gone to like 6 different rehab centers. When my dad broke his hip, then he broke his other hip. When Rick had his problems, and there's some really, and I hate to say this, but there are some really crappy rehab nursing facilities out there. There really is. There's some good ones, but if your insurance is just Medicare, no, they're not. There's not some good ones. There's some really bad ones. A couple years ago, we sent my husband to one, and they called me in the middle of the night, and they said, your husband's really disorientated. We're taking him to the hospital. Okay. And that's where he's at, this hospital now. So pretty soon the doctor calls me, and he's like, where did he come from? I said he came from the nursing home there in this town. And he said he's so dehydrated, his kidneys are shutting down. We might have to do dialysis on him. And I said, well, you could thank that lovely rehab center that you sent him to. And so then when they got him all better, they said, okay, we got to send him back. I said, you're not sending him back there. So they sent him to a different one. Looked like a MASH unit from the TV show MASH. And the bed didn't even fit him. Granted, he's 6'6", you know, and he was miserable. I said, put him back in the ambulance, take him back to the hospital. They said, why? I go, because he is not safe here, and I don't feel safe. So they took him back to the hospital. And then I said, just take him home. I'm taking him home. We don't advise that. You know, he needs some rehab at the time. I said, I don't care. You guys aren't doing anything for him. I'll do it myself. And I just brought him home. So now I'm much more set up at home than I was 2.5 years ago. So I'm kind of leery of the rehab centers because a lot of them just don't take care of you. They just ignore you. You know, if you're in okay health, they're good with you. But if you have problems with your oxygen and all that kind of stuff, I feel like if they ignore them, it'll plummet down and we'll go right back to where we were. So, I don't know. Anyways, I'm sorry. You guys are probably like, I don't want to hear about this anymore. So, anyways, I've been watching some new channels, and I was watching Debbie over at Kentucky Life with Debbie, and she was saying how it's so hot there and the humidity, and it is the same way here, except for we don't get the humidity. We don't get humidity here, but we do get the heat, and it is 103 today, I think, but it's a dry heat here, but it's still miserable. But thank the good Lord that last year my husband had a really good air conditioner unit put into our living room, and then this year we had a brand new one put on in the bedroom, and then we have the old one in the craft room. So we don't have central air here. We just have the wall units, and but they are working fabulous. So I came home and took a shower. I'm doing some laundry. I'm gonna go out for dinner with my friend tonight. I'm gonna let her drive so that I can have a Bloody Mary or something because I just need to chillax. And I was hoping that I would, you know, be able to sleep in today, but no. But we do have Friday off for the 4th of July. Does anybody here have any great plans for 4th of July? I don't know what I'm doing. It all depends on where my husband is, right? I'm foreseeing that by next Friday they're going to want to discharge him. So if they discharge him, then I'm not going to be going anywhere. But if they don't, then I might go to my friend's, and she has a pool, and who knows? Who knows? And I was going to go shopping this morning after I was done with my husband, because that town that he's in has a big Lowe's, has Old Navy. I like Old Navy for like t-shirts and stuff. Do I need any t-shirts? No, no, no. I have way too many clothes But you know what? I still like to get new things once in a while. But anyways, I hadn't taken a bath or a shower this morning when I left, and my hair was a mess, so I just pulled it back in a headband. Didn't put any makeup on. It looked like the wrath of God. Boy, people probably saw me in the elevator and they're like, I'll take the next one. Just kidding. But so I just came home, and now I told my friend, let's just go out for dinner. So I don't know where we're gonna go, but just go out and relax. And I have been getting a lot of cleaning done, you guys. So the other day I cleaned my hall closet, and it looks so beautiful. And then yesterday I cleaned, not yesterday, the day before, I cleaned my 2 cupboards in the kitchen that's got food in it. It's like a little pantry. Then I got a big pantry in the back room. But I cleaned my little pantry, and it looks so beautiful. And then, you know, when all of a sudden you realize, why do I have 6 bags of croutons and they're all open? Because you go to the grocery store and you're like, did I have croutons? I'm not sure. So you buy one, you know, and then you open it and then you realize, oh, I had one. So I had to purge a lot of just junk, but boy, does it look beautiful in there. This morning, I was trying to find my husband's old CPAP because a long time ago, they did a study and set him up, and then he hated wearing it, so he just quit wearing it. But at that time, he was still pretty mobile, so I thought we had kept it. He told me today that he gave it back to them. I don't think he did. I think we have it somewhere in here, but it's really old, so I don't know if it would even work. But it might get us by until he had a test done. But anyways, I went through his closet, because we each have our own closets, because we have an older house and the closets aren't really big. So we took one of the extra bedrooms and made it his closet. So I went through there, cleaned out the whole closet, didn't find the CPAP. But the closet is beautiful now. So that's what I think I'm gonna do, like, even when he gets home. I think I'm just gonna keep cleaning, you know, keep organizing. I am not good about keeping up on my organizational skills. So I want to try really hard to do so, to keep organizing and get all my cupboards and drawers and everything organized. Wouldn't that be nice? And then by the time you finish it all, if you don't keep up on it, then you have to start all over again. But you know, I think once you, because like where all my dishes are, that has stayed very organized, but I put everything back where it goes. And where my pots and pans are, that's all organized. But then certain ones, you just don't keep it organized. You just throw things back in there, and then you have a mess. Who else does that besides me? But anyways, I've got a load of clothes in the dryer right now, and then I'll be all caught up on my laundry because it's only been me this week. When my husband's home, it's a lot of laundry. But this week I only had 2 loads. So I'm gonna go fold that. My closet is a mess. The kids' closet in the playroom is a mess. My pantry in the back room is a mess. But it is what it is, you know? I love kois in real life, koi ponds. My aunt and uncle, they have a koi pond. Well, my aunt passed away a couple months ago. And it was her that, well, my uncle loves the koi ponds too, though. They have a beautiful koi pond in their backyard that they built. And my little brother, he would build koi ponds for people all the time. And I don't think he has one at his new house. But they are beautiful. I'm sure they're a lot of work to keep up though, because they create a lot of algae in the water. So I know my uncle's, it needs to be cleaned better. but he's old, you know, so probably doesn't have the energy. Humma, 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 humma. Oh. There, I'm gonna get one of my Ohuhu markers out. This is looking so cute. This little fishy. All right, you guys, well, I'm gonna let you go. And sorry you got to see me, my worked up state. That's how I get when I get all nervous, you know, or anxiety. But, yeah, it is what it is. It's just how I get. It's annoying, but it is who I am. It's how I'm wired. My father always had very high anxiety. My little brother has anxiety, the worst, I think, of the four of us. My sister has it. My oldest brother, I don't know, I think he got my mother's personality. She doesn't have it like my brother and sister do, and myself. But coloring really does, it really does relax me. So like before I go to bed, I'll just color for about a half hour, and it kind of just calms me down, you know. I love all these orange colors I have. I have so many orange and yellows. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's all for today. And thank you guys for stopping by and visiting with me. And I hope that I'm gonna go up to see my husband tomorrow. My friend's gonna go with me. She's gonna drive. I'm gonna go to church first. Then we're gonna head up there, visit with my husband, maybe go get a pedicure. That would be really good. All right, talk to you later. Bye-bye.